the reality is, I hold the police in highest regard. My grandfather was on the force. We have had the opportunity to service Windsor Police in a media capacity, and the week earlier, I was actually in there with direct contact to the arresting officer. And so, gem of a guy. Honestly, I love the Windsor Police. They've done nothing but good things for me, and everybody rips on police until they need them. So
Right.
it's one of those things.
100%.
And so, anyways, yeah, I knew 3 of the 4 arresting officers. And when I got to the bottom, there was no indication that I was even being charged. They were unsure of what was happening. And to clarify, because all the news agencies got this wrong, I did not tie up resources. There was no one on scene when I got to the bottom, and I had to wait there. And I chose to wait there. Like I could have been non-compliant. I could have just hopped in my Jeep and drove home, and they would have found me, later on and processed me there. But the reality is, it was a very quiet Saturday morning, obviously, because no one saw me up there. And the reality is 5 cruisers ended up showing up, but only 1 was called, and the 5 came because they wanted to see who climbed the bridge. Right. So they were intrigued. And so the 3 of the 4 arresting officers chatted with me for a while. I asked, I had my bag there. I said, can I open it up and eat something because I'm starving? And so we chatted about my shoes that I wore, why I chose the shoes, what the band was. They asked if I had a Spotify. Gave them a link to the project, and then they found out they were charging me with a mischief undercharge. And from there, it was just protocol.
Right.
So, but then to talk to the media side of that was, I was in at the headquarters for about 3 hours, and I got released. The first thing I did was, when I got released, I got back on Instagram, shouted out, gave praise to Windsor Police for handling their job great, and then I came back to the studio, and I was like, we got to get media dumped out quick.
Right, because when we say we got to get media dumped out, let's talk about all of the things that were so you had drones up there,
okay.
Number 1.
Yeah, so I'm not licensed to operate the drone. I don't have a drone license, so I was not flying the drone. The person who's flying the drone has asked to be unnamed because obviously
there's
the project
issues.
is whatever. So the reality was there was drone footage that was delivered off to me, and then I had we were tracking some new songs that are coming out shortly here. So I had a bunch of footage of us tracking earlier that week. So I had that footage, and I made a mashup of the drone footage with the bridge and just some general promotion for Crossfire. And so I came back within an hour. I put a 20-second promotional. Yeah, actually, Nikita's in a lot of that media too. She made the news quite a bit.
Hey, puppy.
But yeah, so I dumped that media out to the news outlets as soon as possible. I made a Google Drive folder, and I just sent it out. And I said, here you go. And so they had this 20-second thing that I had full control over, and all of them used it. But you know what sucks about that too is the news channels that used it, they did it live, so their live broadcast, great. I go to play it back, they cut all of it, and it's because Crossfire is playing, so they're gonna have to pay me royalties.
Right.
They deleted it. It's gone. So I went to get all those network episodes. They're all gone. Like Channel 4, Fox News, ABC, all of them, CTV.
Yep.
Yeah. Crap.
But so I guess what I want to point out on all of this is exactly that, the reporting side of this.
Yeah.
The part that made all of the big spectacle,
yeah.
right? The part that where it's newsworthy,
yeah,
as opposed to just some sort of because I mean it's a publicity stunt,
sure,
but they're reporting on it.
Yeah.
And the fact that they do none of their own reporting now.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is before I get into this.
It's huge.
I don't want to shit on the amazing men and women that actually do reporting and are still involved. The business itself sucks. Yeah. The entire business has changed, and it's like your stunt or whatever.
Yeah.
I think puts a point on that.
Yeah, 30 articles that are all the same shit.
Yep.
The only one that did really great was AM 800 was awesome. Detroit Free Press did a good job. They actually did some, and then Dawson. I've never met Dawson.
Dawson's great.
He probably thinks that article he wrote was really negative, but I pumped it as positive because he did his research, and he was the only person that called out the narcissist thing. He was the only person that actually looked through the Instagram post and got specific facts that were different than